Khabib Nurmagomedov beat Dustin Poirier at UFC 242 in his usual dominant fashion. There wasn't much drama or adversity in the fight, aside from a guillotine Poirier attempted in the third round, which he ostensibly came close to finishing, but that guillotine wasn't as close as it seemed.
Прям перед боем, грубо говоря, он говорит, правой рукой на гильотину заходит. Я ему говорю, я ему хочу шею отдать, чтобы он зашел мне, чтобы он во время удушающего, чтобы он потратил силу. Это очень опасно. Я ему отдал,
можно не заметить.
Я ему отдал шею и левую ногу закидываю, чтобы он обоими меня не прихватил. А я смотрю, что-то через ногу меня душит. Сильнее и сильнее. Я такой раз поменял положение, второй раз пришел, еще сильнее затянул. И думаю, надо выбираться.
In my personal opinion, the most interesting sequence in the fight wasn't that. It was this. A lot of times our perception of what's happening in the cage can be skewed. If we don't have a good view of the action, we can become partial to the fighter who's moving forward, or to the fighter who's throwing heat, even if he's not landing and thus not creating any meaningful offense. This is why fans find Floyd Mayweather to be so boring. His defensive prowess is appreciated only by the more refined, serious boxing fans, unnoticed to the masses except when captured in slow-motion replays. The point being, a flurry of punches can often look damaging in real time, but then you watch it in slow motion and realize hardly anything landed. And that's what happened in Abu Dhabi. Poirier threw a lot in the early part of round 2, and everyone got excited, but John Anik, the consummate professional, reminded us all.
Hard to know the extent to which that hurt Nurmagomedov.
The answer to that is not much. According to Fight Metric, Dustin landed just 8 of his 28 attempted significant strikes in round 2, almost all of which were thrown in that initial flurry at the start of the round. Now is a good time to bring up Poirier's impressive resume. Poirier put away Alvarez, he put away Gaethje, he very nearly finished Max Holloway. Even the toughest guys have been broken when faced with his pressure. He has fast hands, he has accuracy, and he had the audacity to go for broke against Khabib, which is more than can be said about most of Khabib's opponents. He realized that this was his only path to victory, but strangely enough, in this exchange, Poirier had little success. A very cerebral Poirier explained the reason for this in the post-fight presser.
I felt like I couldn't get anything going with my stand-up. He's very awkward. He dips his head and throws uppercuts. We never got into an orthodox kickboxing or boxing exchange on the feet. It was all one punch at a time, or him dipping and throwing a knee, or him dipping and throwing an uppercut. I didn't get a rhythm. I felt like the way he was pulling back, it was hard for me to set up my combinations and get into a rhythm.
I've been saying for years that people need to stop sleeping on Khabib's stand-up fighting. Fortunately, I think more and more of us are realizing that he is indeed an effective striker in an MMA context, even if his style does not appeal to our sense of aesthetics. Khabib has become such a force in mixed martial arts that not as much reference is made to his Sambo base anymore. His arsenal of takedowns extends far beyond the Sambo judo canon, and his style is so distinct and so keenly tailored for MMA competition that it's hard to suffice in calling him a sambist anymore. But I must say, the manner in which he evades strikes is very much combat sambo oriented. Elude damage not with an eye to counter, but with an eye to close the distance and grab a hold of the guy.
Right, if I know the guy's a boxer, I'll hug him immediately. They do not like hugging. They are not lovers.